Hey everyone, today I will be showing you my deployable shield version 2. If you haven't seen version 1, definitely check that out so that you can see all the improvements that have been made.
Alert. Hostile remains at large.
In this project, I've combined a few different skills, including 3D printing, laser cutting, mechanical design, and electronic circuitry. So here you can see that I've increased the overall size of each portion of the shield. I increased the length by about 2 inches and overall the width by 3. One of the major improvements has been just in the design. This portion right here is really important because if you attack and break this, which there's a weak point right here and here, then the rest of the shield pretty much doesn't work because it relies on this to rotate. So by shifting that up and also beefing up the amount of space here on each side, it adds a much stronger design and there's less chance of it failing in an attack. The 3D printed portions of this build include the base, the handle here, the housing enclosure for all the electronics. This right here is just for aesthetics, it's just a gear at the front. And also the most important portion, which I probably could not have done by hand, is creating the sprocket that connects to the motor. Now this motor was salvaged and it didn't really have the perfect components that I wanted, but I made it work. There is a gear that's already built into this torque motor, and so I had to take a picture of it and then from that reverse engineer something to go over top of it like a cap. So this goes onto the motor there, and then I extended this outward and then added a portion for a mount for the first piece of shield. There's 2 bolts that connect on both sides and anchor that in place, and then at the center there's a piece of threaded rod that goes in, and I glued that in place with epoxy. So you can kind of imagine this right here, you can kind of see it, and it's being sandwiched in between the base here and the motor because I created a sort of flared out edges, almost like a mushroom cap, to keep it in between. So it's kind of just hovering there, friction fit, but it works really well because it's sitting on the sprocket, and also this piece on the front acts as a support structure to the base, which is also 3D printed, and that connects to the base, the entire base right here. So this is kind of like the main portion that everything connects to. And then we have another piece here which just kind of acts as the board to hold your arm and to close it. So at this point, a lot of you are probably wondering what type of material I used. This is actually still wood. It's a little bit stronger, and I've added a carbon fiber vinyl. It's just an adhesive plastic, but it does look really nice, and I think that for a prototype this is the best thing and the smartest thing that I could have done, because carbon fiber is a very expensive material, and this isn't the only version that I had to come up with. This is just the final version of version 2. So there are a lot of things that I had to do and errors that I had to make and learn from in order to get to this point. So here's another close-up. You have the on switch here, and very sturdy because it's actually a worm gear and a torque motor, so it's not able to retract backwards, which is really nice. And then you switch that back and closes, and then you just press this button. So So lots of ways that I can improve this. One of the ways I'm thinking is to add limit switches to the existing setup so that it can only go so far. This works, but I think it puts a little bit of strain on these sort of channels that I've laser cut out, and also to add buttons on the top here that would allow me to switch basically this to here. So maybe there'd be a master switch to turn the entire thing on. This would turn it left, this would turn it right, something along those lines. The only problem is that the way that this is set up is nice because there's no mix-up. If I want to deploy this, I have to slide this up and press the button. If I was gripping onto this, there's a possibility that with my sort of new upgrade that I have in mind with the two buttons up here, that I might accidentally press them at the wrong time. So the important thing when you're sort of integrating something into your armor or something like that is it has to be a very unnatural type of motion or trigger. Otherwise, it's going to get in the way of your instincts to just grip onto something when someone's firing at you. So if you have any ideas, definitely leave a comment below. I think that this is a pretty good transition and upgrade from version 1. I hope you guys enjoy this, and please share this with your friends. I think that they would also find this really interesting. I don't think there's anything else like it being sold on the market or anything available that's even been invented yet, to my knowledge. So I think that people would enjoy to see something like this in action. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and as always, take it easy.